What is up, Jit? Meatball Jit back. Raider 4 week 1. We have the whole week in one video. We're going to go through it. Nothing that I say is professional advice. This is my coaching experience and I'm sharing it with you. Bench, deadlift, incline, squat. First up is the bench. 185 for 12 on the top set. 155 for 12. 3 sets on the back down. Incoming is the top set and the last back down set. This is RPE 7, so not supposed to be the most exhausting set, but we're just focused on repping it out, definitely feeling that eccentric and finishing the concentric fully, locking out the elbows and whatever. Tossing around 185, this is like heavy for me. I feel like my strength is improving greatly, and this is a very accurate RPE 7 in my opinion. I definitely had some left in the tank. Great reps here. I feel like I can see the J motion on camera even from back here. Just great set. I loved it. Now this is the last back down set, so there's 2 other sets of 155 for 12 that I'm not filming, and this is just the last back down. And here we're trying to have a slower eccentric, definitely trying to pause at the bottom, but not rest at the bottom. We're not losing tension in the muscle. We're stopping the bar, and then we're pressing it from 0 velocity, which I definitely think has helped me a lot in the bottom of the range of motion. And like I'm saying, I feel like I've had great strength gains from last time going into the program. This time, the calories have been up, the weight has been piling on, as well as the strength. So I'm liking how it's going. Finishing this last rep to grinder. Love to see it. Not so much else to note on the accessory work with the bench day. Gonna move on to the deadlift, where we were also working at RPE 7, 9 reps. I chose to do 265 for 9, and I did it strapless as well as the back downs. And on the back down, I was doing a different form than I had before in my other runnings of Raider. Something that I experimented in my time between the programs was my work capacity on a set of deadlifts, with the rep range being more like 12. And I learned that, I was running out of gas. My grip strength was struggling. So I started lighter in my deadlift this time than the beginning of Raider 3, which I think is interesting. But in my first few weeks of Raider 3, I was actually failing a lot of these top sets of deadlifts. So slowing it down a bit. Here's my last back down set, and this is where I'm experimenting with a different kind of form where I'm pausing just at or below the knee. Definitely feel like it's getting a lot of use out of my erectors and stuff. Not sure how smart it is to do this on conventional style deadlift, but I see Matt Vina do this on his sumo style deadlift, and he's just strong as hell, and I want to be strong as hell, so I don't mind doing less weight and doing this, especially 9 reps. Like, imagine how exhausting this was. I couldn't imagine. Oh wait, I could. Now, something to note about the accessory work, if you guys watched my Raider 3 wrap-up video and what I'm changing going into Raider 4, I'm now doing chin-ups instead of pull-ups. So I was kind of setting the bar on chin-ups, and I wanted to see if I could start and do 3 sets of 12. I did 2 sets of 12, and then the third set I did 9 reps. And spoiler alert, I already had my second deadlift session. I was not able to replicate this performance the second week. I did it worse, and that's okay. I think it's more volume on my biceps. We'll see how they adjust. Not sure how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna keep an eye on it. And hamstring curl, I started off lighter. I did 3 sets of 12 with 90 pounds on the lying hamstring curl machine. 12 is the maximum amount of reps that I want to be doing on this. So I think I was taking it easy a little bit on my hamstrings. I don't think that I pushed them to the absolute max, which is totally okay. But this second session, I had moved it up to 100 pounds, and I wasn't able to do 3 sets of 12. So that's like a great way to find where I want to be. And the Bulgarian split squats, we had backed off a little bit That was one of the notes we took in. So I started with 40-pound dumbbells, so 80 pounds total. And first set, 10 reps, second set, 12 reps. And so, yeah, the goal is to bring those both to 12 and then move the weight up. And we're going to move it up slow because we learned from last time moving it up too fast is tough to deal with. So let's get into the squat. Let me take a look here at what I did. Squat, my God. We're going to incline press. On the incline press, definitely a lighter weight than my flat bench. So RPE 7, 12 reps, I did 155. And then for the 3 back down sets, using the same form as my flat bench, I was working with 130 pounds. Can you believe I wasn't even working with a plate? How embarrassing, you must be thinking, for my back downs to not even be with a plate on each side. But, here's a good set of 12 with a plate on each side. Great range of motion. Happy with this, happy with the speed of it, and happy with the fatigue at the end. Something I was experimenting in my warm-up before I got into my working sets was doing a heavier rep. So I did a rep of 185, and I kind of tweaked my right shoulder, so it didn't feel great throughout this. It kind of hurt. Incline press has always been a lot harder for me than bench on my shoulder of the side of my collarbone that got hurt, if that makes sense. I broke my collarbone. So, yeah, this is that set. Now, for my back downs, like I'm saying, less than a plate. You can see it there. You can see it moving. Sorry you're getting absolute booty galore here, but I needed the spot, or I at least wanted to have the spot so I could push it to failure if that's what it required. Maybe next week we'll hit failure. Spoiler alert. But, yeah, super grindy reps. You can see they're definitely slowing down, but I'm not forgetting to pause at the bottom. Like, if that's going to cause me to fail, it'll be as it will. But, here you can see he's motivating me. I'm pausing super. My shoulder definitely started feeling better with this lighter weight and the pause and the greater control. So, definitely some great work here. This has got to be the last rep. Look at how slow that is. Love the work. You better believe I had 3 reps in the tank after this set. And it might be because this first rep right here isn't even to total depth. I feel like I just cheated myself a little bit there, but I do think that I come around and start using some better form after this. I'm definitely just trying to focus on having good form, so I'm surprised that that first rep wasn't what I liked, but I'm also trying to focus more on my bracing and stuff, and just trying to remain strong and stable throughout the whole lift, feeling it in both of my quads evenly, no reason to be over fatigued when this is like lighter weight and a greater reps in reserve. So, this is just a thing of beauty. Nice heavy set of 9. Love to see it. Taking my time with it. Bang, finishing out. Now here's my second set of 235 for 9, pausing at the bottom. And this might be a relatively long clip. I'm not really sure what to talk about other than the beauty, like I'm saying. And this is totally going to be building on my work capacity. I can't wait to see how strong I get. I hope that I can do 405 for 5 in 3 months. But yeah, anyways, let's talk about some of the accessory work. I'm now using a actual chest-supported row machine, which I think is saving my CNS just for my other days. And instead of doing the hack squat, we are just doing the leg extension machine. And so I started with 110 for 12 for 3 sets. So we're going to have to go heavier next week, which is something to note. Now, something with the ab work, ladies and gentlemen, I switched up whether I was doing sit-ups or leg lifts. I was relating those to my upper and lower body days. Before, lower body did leg lifts, upper body did sit-ups. Now I'm switching it. Lower body, I'm doing sit-ups. Upper body, I'm doing leg lifts. And my performance on my sit-ups hasn't been as good as I was expecting. And I think it's because I'm using better form. But that's just something that I'm going to track, is just how my ab strength feels, how I think my abs develop, even though I had to take some weight off and I'm not performing as well as I used to. So that's just something we'll keep an eye on. But the leg lifts are going great, and visually just like most people, my top abs are stronger. You can see in these squat videos that I'm showing when I brace, you can see how much my top abs stick up over my lower abs. And like, I think that's just like typical, but maybe it's like the strength curve or something, or like the weight of my upper body versus the weight of my lower body. Me putting on weight on my upper body, making the sit ups harder, who knows? But I think as long as we're trying hard and reaching failure and finding a way to progressively overload, I think that's all that matters. So this was the end of Raider 4 Week 1. Awesome doing it. I feel great going into the gym. Super motivated. Want to hit 315 on bench. Coming for 500 on squat and deadlift. I think squat is definitely doable for sure. 405 for 5 would be awesome. I think I'm closer to that than I think. Yeah, so just going to keep it up, keep grinding. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.